It's story time. If you guys look at a lot of videos like 6 years ago and stuff, when I used to do the vlogs and stuff, I used to start it and be like, it's story time.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Titan and it's story time. It's story time. Guess what? It's story time.
And just speak, because with you guys actually hearing what I went through, you guys can actually look at it and actually pivot and not make the same mistakes that I made, and actually lift up your companies, do well, thrive, rise to greatness, and all of that. Oh man, so it's story time again. This is the beginning of 2025. And I said it already, you know, we are reinventing. 2024 was a huge year for me, and I'm doing well, you know, life is good, and we have a great company. I got a great team. I got great culture. We're known for it. I have a great community, you know, out there with you guys and stuff, and I could just rest, but I'm like, no, man, God has a plan for my life, and he has a destiny for me, and I know that we're still in training for that. So how do I actually take myself to the highest level? So last year, you know, I when it came to diet, I started waking up at 5 in the morning, going to the gym every day. You know, I dropped 35 pounds. But now I'm increasing my workouts from the diet, stepping the diet up, stepping up, you know, me as a CEO with the company, stepping that up. And we have greatness ahead of us. We're building a company that has potential to be a billion-dollar company. People will laugh at me and they'll say whatever, but they always have laughed. They always said that you couldn't do anything. People said, hey, you can't sell, you know, CNC machines without like a complete sales force and going into people's, you know, facilities and stuff. And literally they said I couldn't do it. And yet last year we actually sold 80 CNC machines. And this year we're going to triple it or quadruple it, and then sky's the limit. And guess what? We're actually a global distributor, because we have a global community. You know, you guys have seen us out there for over a decade, just speaking into the industry, teaching, giving free education nonstop. Free education is expensive. How do you fund free education? Nobody's ever done it because it is hard. But we figured out how to actually fund it through working with great partners and through doing these different things. But guess what? We want to take it to a higher level. So then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? We have such a community. Let's just go into distribution. You go to IMTS, you go to EMO, you go to these companies, you see CNC machines. That's how they've been sold for decades. And you have a salesperson that is great at his job, and he tells you this is the greatest machine, yet he's never actually ran the machine. So he's going by what other people tell him, and he's telling you, oh, the machine's great, and yet the machine's not running, or it's just air running. People say like, that's the way you gotta sell. But I'm like, we actually run the machines in our videos, and we actually do it in an incredible way, making legit parts out of legit materials, out of stainless, titanium, Inconel. And then we use the tools, use the coolant, use the variables and all that, and we show you how to actually make parts. People sell machines, people sell these things. We show you how to actually make a part so you can actually make money for your family. And that's what we do. If we're doing that on a daily basis and putting out videos on a daily basis and just speaking and pouring into you guys, and we have such a crazy, you know, relationship, why wouldn't we not distribute? You know, so a lot of people, they don't have the mindset to think, because they can't comprehend, because they've never experienced it before, they've never seen it before. And yet I rely on the Lord to just keep pushing me forward. I rely on my gut instinct that he gives me to be like, you know what, I know that this is possible. I know that we can achieve these different things and stuff. So we're going to actually move. Reinvention is like one of the most important things in life, I think. You know, for me it is. And it's not something new for me. It's something that I've always done. And if I could actually speak to just a few different things that you guys have actually witnessed, you guys will actually see that I've been doing it right in front of your eyes, you know, as we're actually on social media and all of it and stuff. And so one of them is, you know, years back before COVID, I was doing a TV show, I was doing social media. We were actually delivering parts to SpaceX, Blue Origin, Lockheed, Boeing, all these different companies. We're making incredible parts and stuff. You know, I was like traveling around the industry just, you know, hey, we're gonna actually like showcase great manufacturing for the people. We want to save manufacturing. We want to lift up manufacturing. We want to like push it forward. People say like, manufacturing's there, like why does it need saving? It's like, I always tell, like, are you making the money that you're supposed to be making? You know, can you find the employees that you should be finding? You know, do you have the culture that you should be having? Does your family look at what you're doing in manufacturing and say, you know what, I actually want that. I want that. Kids saying to the dad, like, I want to be like him, you know? It's like, manufacturing is a grind because we've sold out our jobs. We've sold out so many different things. We're fighting over scraps and we're figuring it out, and we're not making, a lot of people are not making the money that they used to make. And yet other companies are actually thriving right now, but still manufacturing is on like a certain level, but it's all they can comprehend. So they don't know that there are higher levels. So for us, it's like, you can't talk to an alpha and you can't tell them, hey, you need to do this. If you change this, then you'd make more money. If you change this, you'd save time. If you did this and this and this, your part times would be shorter and more efficient, and therefore, like, you know, you'd be able to save machine hours and so on and so forth. No, everybody's an alpha. They think that the way they've been doing it is the way it should be done, and it's what they know, you know. So for us, we're just like putting out videos because they're non-threatening to people. People watch the videos. A lot of the videos will show you processes and speeds and feeds and tooling that they've never seen before, and it's faster and better than what they currently do, and therefore they will, instead of reinventing the wheel, they'll actually look at it, be inspired to actually change things and actually increase their companies. And that happens all over the world, and it's incredible. So I actually love social media because I get to talk to everybody every single day. I used to have all these haters out there. Still got some. But a lot of the haters, they actually look at me and they come to me and they say, hey, you know, I used to hate on you. Everybody wants to be like, oh, we need to save manufacturing, we need to do this. But when somebody does, then they're just like, he's not good enough, or he's not this, or he's different, or he's whatever, you know? And it's like, they used to hate. But then they're like, I never knew you. And once I figured out what the mission was and what you were actually attempting to do, I was like, man, this guy's out there doing it, man. And they want to shake your hand and stuff, you know? At the end of the day, you know, seeing all the people running the parts that we have, like that right there is so overwhelming to me and stuff. So, you know, as a machinist, having a shop, making all these different jobs and having like, you know, 20-something machines, and every machine has different jobs on it, and the jobs are getting made and shipped, and it's just a grind, and I love that grind. At the same time, I fell in love with you guys. I fell in love with social media. I fell in love with the conversations. And all of a sudden I felt like, you know what, as a man, I'm actually, you know, I found my calling. You know, I used to be about me, but now I'm about you. I'm like teaching you guys how to actually step up on a higher level, not only in the shop, but as leaders, as shop owners, and in life, as husbands, as fathers, as all of it, you know? And I just fell in love with it. So before COVID happened, I actually looked at all of it, and I looked at, sometimes when I was gone, like all of a sudden I started having some little mistakes happen, you know? We were putting out such a crazy amount of work, but I started having some problems, and then I get down on my guys like, dude, we've done this part before, you know, like how could you miss this, you know, deburr right here, or how could you not inspect this and actually get 20 bad parts before the inspector caught it, you know, like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And yet I looked at myself and I'm like, you know what, this is actually like happened a little bit more than it should. But you know what, I gotta look at myself as at leadership and say, you know what, like sometimes when I'm out filming, although I'm making a difference in the world and doing these different things and I'm super proud, I'm an absentee owner, man. You know, I'm an absentee owner. You know, there's portions of time where I'm not at the shop and I'm not there to solve problems. When you look at high-level jobs, I project manage every single one, and yet if I'm not there on a daily basis to go to the shop, to give the inspiration, to talk to the guys, to double check, hey, you double check this, you got all the inspection equipment, you got this, you got that. If I'm not there to do it, maybe other people are not doing it like, you know, I'm doing it, you know, and I'm the one that sold the customer that they should be with us and stuff. So I started seeing fault that, you know what, I can't I can't keep running everyone's parts and do social media and do education and do all these different things, you know? I just can't do it. Like, I'm done, you know? And it's like, man, it's a lot. It's a lot, you know? A lot of you guys out there, you've talked to me. You've had conversations. You've seen me comment. Imagine on every single platform how many people I actually talk to, how much time I actually invest, even through the weekend, at night, and everything. There's times at 2 in the morning I wake up, I'm like talking to people and stuff because I live it and I'm passionate about it. But at the same time, at 2 in the morning, I need if I'm manufacturing parts for like Blue Origin, I need to be thinking about their part and how I can make it more efficient. I need to be all these things, you know what I mean? So like mentally, I need to be on what matters most. So I had to reevaluate everything, and there hasn't been a single machine shop that has ever done this in the world. There's a lot of things that I've done in this industry, and I'm humble, but if you think about it, first vendor for SpaceX outside Hawthorne, everybody said I couldn't, everybody said you're not AS, you're not this, you're not that. I sold myself to them. I spent 6 months, I was the first vendor. I got our company in there before anybody else, and first to be inspection delegated with them, all of it, you know? So there's a lot of things I've done in the industry that other people haven't, because there's no rule books, and I just do things how I think as an artist, as a creator, as a machinist. I just look at it like, what's the best? And I bring my own thing to it, and then I put it with everything I've learned from everybody else and seen, and then like put out the best. And getting back, I looked at the shop, I looked at everything. There's 100,000 shops, there's millions of shops, there's millions of manufacturers, there's all of it, right? Who's actually saving manufacturing? We go up, we go down, you know, companies go out of business. You know, people say, oh, the economy's low, the economy's high, it's just part of this thing. People are losing their ability to take care of their families and put their kids through college and do all these different things and live the American dream and whatever country they're from and stuff. And I'm like, nobody's doing that. Our education right now, teachers don't get paid enough. They don't get enough equipment in the schools. Now, what they can't afford is already obsolete when it comes to top-level machine shops where you can actually make good money. You know, I started looking at, you know, manufacturing. China pulls its entire country out of poverty based on making our parts, making other people's parts, you know, and manufacturing. They took it super serious, you know. As far as the US, you go to any major mall and you ask them ask any mom or dad or anybody, like, hey, what's CNC machining? They're going to be like, I don't even know. Like, what is CNC machining? And yet, this car, my phone, your house, your building, everything would not be there if it wasn't for CNC machining. So either the part was machined, or the machine that made the part was machined, or the mold that made the part or the bottle was machined. Without CNC machining, without grinding, planes would not fly. You look at aerospace, you look at the future, look at robots, and it's all machine parts, and yet nobody knows what it is. So I looked at it, and people look and they dog social media. I'm like, you know what, this is a gift because our kids are on social media. So I'm gonna actually look at social media, and I'm gonna actually like make this happen. This is my calling. This is my call in life. And everybody like laughed at me, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna go all in. I told my wife, I said, we spent years to get our customers. We spent years to actually get them and to service them and to dig our roots into them. But I'm actually going to tell them that I'm going to start not quoting their work. I'm going to give them the programs. I'm going to even sold some of my customers machines, you know, and basically said, you know, look, I'm not going to do your work, but I'm going to be a best friend, because I'm going to actually train up a workforce to actually have more machinists that are on a high level that can actually do your work. So we're actually going to solve problems that nobody else, everybody talks a good game, but nobody's solving those problems. So I basically pivoted from doing work for private companies. We still do some work, high level, like we just did some Northrop Grumman stuff, some, you know, Firefly Aerospace stuff. You know, right now we're doing some, you know, the handles and stuff. We do some work that we do for money and stuff, but at the same time, only if I can get excited about it, like it's like high level, you know, or they let us use cameras or something like that. But most times we just completely moved away, and we actually give free education, and we make videos. We put up about 8 videos every single day. I told everybody, like, we're gonna move to Texas and create a content engine. Nobody understood it, and yet today 8 videos a day go up 365, teaching you guys, showing you guys different tools, showing you speeds and feeds, showing you process, showing you everything, different machines, and just putting it out there and stuff. And that was a pivot. Like, that was a pivot. I everything that for years, my entire dream, everything that I wanted, being a job shop, everything that I had built and gained crazy success at, making millions and millions of dollars. People, I have a nice car, right? Like, and I put it out there. People say, like, you shouldn't put it out there. I'm like, why? Like, kids are looking at rappers, they're looking at NBA players, they think that they have to go do all this to actually make money. But if you're in manufacturing and you solve the right problems, you can make incredible money. And then if you scale it, the sky's the limit. I pivoted, I changed everything, I flipped the switch, I reinvented the company with the team. The Lord, like, gave me that sense, and I knew this is the direction I should go. And people ask me, like, when God speaks to you, like, do you hear a voice? And I'm like, no, I don't hear a voice, but I'll wake up and I just know I need to do something. So that was the first pivot right there, is changing the course of, like, my life and the company to actually go in a different direction. And God has just been blessing it and blessing it. And we're in a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and we're first before everybody else. And we have 500,000 students, and it's on a super high level. And it's like, you know what? I'm the most competitive person that you ever met. But at the same time, I'm competitive in serving God's people, in serving industry, in serving and solving problems that nobody else has solved. If other people have solved it, I don't want to do it because I don't get excited about it. I want to solve problems that everybody says is impossible, that have been there forever and nobody's done anything about. I want to find creative ways, unique ways to actually solve the problem, to make it work. And if you look at everything that we're doing right now, people are always like, how do you make money? How do you do this? And it's like, because we got creative in the business approach. Our Titans of CNC is my art piece. It is my part. We take every single variable in it to the highest level, build the greatest team, greatest culture, greatest everything, serve you guys to the greatest, and keep reinventing ourselves and getting better and better and better, and listening to your comments and stuff. One of the other big pivots that I did was, it was in the middle of COVID. You know, I don't got crazy bank accounts. Like, I was funding a lot of this stuff. Like, I got great partners, but it's not enough. I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like over here just funding it and funding it and funding it, emptying my bank accounts and stuff like that. And it's like COVID and all this stuff is happening and everything, 2020. And I'm just thinking, moving or doing anything was the farthest thing from my mind. But at the end of the day, on May 12th, 4.5 years ago, I actually woke up. And I woke up with that thing. I knew that I was supposed to move to Texas. And I literally walked down, told my wife, we need to move to Texas. The Lord just told me we're supposed to go to Texas. And basically, I already told this story a couple times, but there's a lot of people that haven't heard it. But that day, basically, it just was like boom, 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 boom. I went all in. A lot of people get the word. A lot of people get like, hey, you should do this, and God's speaking to you and stuff. But it's like, they don't actually act on it. They don't actually like believe enough that they're gonna actually do something. You know what I mean? So for me, I was just like all in. I went after it. I ended up flying out to Texas. 1 week after I got the call with my wife. Every day we were just dreaming about it and thinking about it and stuff. Came to Texas, fell in love with Texas, and basically put money down on a house a week after I heard from the Lord. And it was impossible. I got employees, I got buildings, I got everything. How is it gonna happen? What I know is if God's telling me to do this, He's gonna make a way. So I went all in and basically moved my shop in the middle of COVID. It's been the craziest thing. All these guys like Barry, Jesse, Trevor, a lot of our media guys and stuff. These guys I hired in Texas. I would never have these guys, you know. And some people work at your company, there's seasons in life and stuff, but some people are there during this season, and there's growth and there's this and that. But it's like a lot of people would never make the move that I did, but in 1 week I risked everything, and without a crazy bank account, I risked everything. I made moves, I did this, I did that, and I basically moved my entire company to Texas, and it changed my life. So today, 2025, what are you guys doing, man? I just want to inspire you. I love you guys. I want to inspire you when it comes to your company. What problems are you solving? How are you digging your roots into those customers? How are you figuring out how to run more of their parts? How are you fixturing? A lot of people say, get robots, get robots. Make sure you're fixturing, running as many parts as possible, and actually doing all that you can do with what you have to be as efficient as possible, so that you can actually go out there and serve them, putting out the least amount of money to make the most amount of money, and then just keep rising in your customer level, rising in your automation level, and really study all of it. Watch our videos, really focus on how to actually solve these problems. One of the best things you can do is go to your customers and say, you know what, we actually run different parts for you. We want to run more parts. How can we actually get more parts from you? Similar parts, like all the same material. If you give us, like, instead of running one 6061 job, one 316 job, one Inconel job, how about you actually give us like 10 316 jobs, and then we'll actually standardize the tooling, and we'll actually run them all together. We'll get rid of a bunch of setup time. We'll actually drop the prices on everything, and we'll solve your problem. Go and solve your customers' problems, and you will do incredibly well. Look at your life, look at everything, and find fault in it. Like, look at it and say, I'm gonna actually do better here. I'm gonna do better here. Set small goals. And like, let's crush it in 2025. Let's reinvent ourselves, reinvent our mindset to be high level. Life is about levels. Reinvent yourself so that you can actually get on that higher level. You know, whatever your bad habits are, get rid of them. Boom, get rid of them. Like, let's take everything to the highest level. I love this new kind of blog style. It's what I started with. It's what we got famous with. We're gonna go back to it. We're still gonna have incredible machining videos. We're gonna have incredible like technology, incredible everything, but we're gonna like kind of tone down the tone and stuff, and just really teach the how, the why. We're gonna make it so you guys don't just see a flashy video. You come away saying like, I know how they did it. I could actually reproduce what they actually did, and it's going to be amazing, you know? So we want to inspire you to greatness, and we're partners with you guys. If you love what we're doing, if you love the free education, if you love everything, like, please subscribe. If you want to help us give free education and help us on our mission to actually change the world and change the industry and do all of that, then actually go to titansofcnc.com. Go check out our store. We have like work holding, we have like tools, we have everything that you can actually purchase, and the prices are amazing. Nobody out there can say Titan did this for money. I walk away from big money. I walk away from big companies that want to give us money, that want to put their stuff on our floor, because I know that it's not the best thing for our community. So we pick the right machines, the right tools for you. We're trusted. We've been in front of you forever. So please subscribe. Help us out by purchasing from our store, and put it in the comments whatever you guys want to learn about. Somebody mentioned quality manual in our last inspection video that we did, where we just kind of did a breakdown for inspection. Now I'm going to actually do a video on building a quality manual, and what's going to be in it, and how you do it, and how you build it over time, and so on and so forth. So I listen to you guys, and it's good. All right, I've been talking, running, and now I'm going to pull into my shop. And love you guys. Boom.